Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
Welcome back. An Air Force veteran says the Marines and soldiers were the real heroes in Vietnam.
Gwen Bevel and photojournalist Nick Kiefer show us it was because of airmen like him they had the support they needed at war.
Ray Mengelkoch and his twin brother were farm boys, so they knew all about hard work. They signed up for the Air Force when they were just teenagers, and Mengelkoch says the family he found in service is what he misses the most.
Sure enough, the 26th of December they picked us up and our life changed forever.
Ray Mengelkoch's orders were for the war.
And you grow up fast, you know, from no threat ever in your life to being in a combat theater.
He was a sergeant and knew it was bad before they ever landed at Da Nang Air Base.
I look out the window and we're being escorted by two F-4s fully loaded with bombs and whatnot.
He was assigned to a special detachment, so they lived in the downtown Da Nang Hotel at first.
After 5 months, it became too dangerous for us to live there.
Mengelkoch says that's when they moved to a Quonset hut.
Basically, slept in our sweat at night, protected by a mosquito net, and you really need those.
He says the command center was 24/7 and they were constantly taking calls from the front line.
The radio operator started cranking and cranked our office there and talked directly to the colonel.
He says at times the enemy seemed to come from nowhere.
They may have, you know, like 150 men, and all of a sudden there's 1,500 against them.
That's when Mengelkoch and the others would go to work assessing.
How many F-4s, fully manned 500-pound bombs, how many to send out to that theater operation to save those troops?
The reality of war was constantly coming and going from a nearby MASH unit.
One took off, one dropped in, and they landed there. And you grow accustomed to it after a while. You have to, otherwise you'll lose your sanity.
After the war, Mengelkoch traded his sergeant stripes for captain bars. He also became part of a special team. He says only 1% of officers and airmen are invited to join.
What I'm most proud of was being accepted for the elite Air Force Inspector General team.
They traveled all over.
I saw more of the world, over 18 countries, because of being on that team.
Mengelkoch also remembers the times he was able to get to places like Italy and beyond during his time off back during Vietnam. And one visit to Thailand to see a very special sergeant stands out in his mind.
My twin brother, Richard, was a staff sergeant, maintenance, a jet repair mechanic, and a crew chief on those planes over there.
Twin brothers, both answering the call to service. Mengelkoch spent 12 years in the Air Force.
I'd do it all over again. I'd go today if I could. I really would.
Mengelkoch shared some interesting aviation history. He says Cessna made the planes that were key in marking targets over in Vietnam. Here for you, Gwen Bevel, KSN News 3.
On behalf of Devon James Injury Lawyers, we're honored to recognize Vietnam veteran who served in the United States Air Force, Ray Mengelkoch. Captain Mengelkoch, thank you for your service.
Thank you to both of you for keeping the service members in the spotlight. And once again, let's remember those that did not come back home. They're the real heroes.
Veteran Salute.